Howdy y'all, how's everybody doing? Returning viewers, welcome back. Hope y'all had a great Easter. So for this week's dailies, we have Brands Hatch, Grand Valley, and Suzuka Circuit. Now I usually don't set a qualifying time on the first day when new daily races drop, but as I progressed through B Lobby, everything started getting more competitive. I had done 2 races before this one in Grand Valley and the other in Suzuka, and both times I got punted off the track. I figured it'd be better for me to get a few laps in before I go in for a third try. I ended up getting a 2:01 in qualifying, placing me in P3 on the grid. Now I want to give my reasoning onto why I like to start in the back. It allows me to practice with the other racers, get a feel for how it's gonna be. I stated in the previous video that I purchased this wheel back in February. Although I set a decent time in qualifying, I still feel like my race pace isn't there. And truth be told, I think I get lucky sometimes. Going into turn 1, we got Jeff in first place and Pete in second. Coming out, they make a bit of contact as their lines cross. They manage to keep their vehicles in control, but it puts Jeff in P2. Let's see how the other racers in the back are doing. Coming out of this apex, the driver in P12 goes wide, and so does the driver in P13. Both make contact, causing them to go off-road. Now let's switch the camera over to the driver in P4. Let's see if I'm reading this right. Yes, Goon Rider. Very interesting. So the Goon Rider, coming out of that apex, ends up losing control of its vehicle, hitting the guardrail on the right side. Back on my side, I'm doing my best to keep up with the 2 drivers up in front. But I don't want to push too hard either. It is the first lap and the tires are yet to fully warm up. Towards the end of lap 2, we see Pete, who was in P1, go into the pits. I'm still wondering why he did this. I personally thought it was too early for a pit stop, but I guess. Now onto lap 4. Going into turn 1 is where I made a mistake. I think where I messed up was my braking input. Coming out of the exit caused my car to be unstable and costing me some time, allowing the Canadian driver to catch up to me. To the more seasoned drivers, let me know in the comments below what you think I did wrong. When the start of lap 5, I give the signal to the Canadian driver behind me to go ahead and pass me. The last thing I wanted was for our lines to cross that would cost us more time than needed. Me and the Canadian driver end up pitting towards the end of lap 5. Once out of the pits, I stay relatively close to him throughout the duration of lap 6. Neither one of us makes a mistake as we maintain our pace, so we catch up to the drivers who are in P1 and 2, who are just now getting out of the pits. As we make our way into turn 1, we catch up to the Brazilian driver up ahead, who has a 3-second penalty. I let off the gas earlier than usual because I thought the driver in P4 and 3 were about to make contact. Upon the exit of the apex, the driver in P3 runs wide, causing him to go off-road and offline.
Bye, have a beautiful time!
So now it's just me, the Canadian driver, and the Goon Rider. I was honestly surprised that the Goon was in P2. Wow. So around lap 9 is when I had a little malfunction with my controller. I had it connected to an aux cable that goes to a set of speakers while I play music in the background, and it just decided to auto turn off. I reach over to turn it back on, and while doing so, I have to sign it into my profile. Then I had to do the same thing to my steering wheel. Luckily, during all that, nothing bad too happened. However, I did feel like something was off with my wheel. It felt like there was an input lag, like my wheel was not as responsive anymore, or maybe it just threw me off my rhythm. Either way, my pace was beginning to slow down because of it. On the bright side though, the Goon Rider had to make a pit stop, giving me P3, back to where I started. Now all I had to do was just maintain my pace as much as possible, so I can finish this race with a podium. Boom, P3. And it came close too. The two drivers behind me were just coming straight up on me. That being said, that was it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, please leave a like.